The mapply function is a multivariate version of the sapply function. And the mapply function, what it does is it doesn't only vectorize over a single argument, but it vectorizes over multiple arguments instead of a single argument. The m stands for multiple here. The main arguments of the mapply function are fun, which is the function that's going to be applied to the arguments being vectorized over, and then the ... argument, where you actually supply the arguments to be vectorized over. And then, because we're already using ... to decide what arguments are going to be vectorized over, if we have additional arguments to fun, we need to pass them using the moreArgs argument. And specifically, that's going to be a list with named elements that supply additional arguments. There are also simplify and use.names arguments that we're not going to discuss, but they basically work the same way that they do in the sapply function. And you can run $mapply in the console if you want more details. The mapply function is more complicated than other apply functions, and I've rarely used it because there are often simpler ways to solve the problem that do not require the complexity of using mapply. However, we are going to walk through a trivial example that uses mapply so that you can hopefully understand how the mapply function works. So let's say that we have two vectors of the same size. The first vector contains the initials of several individuals. The second vector contains the initials of their romantic partner. So we have these vectors partner1 and partner2. We store them in R's memory. And then we're going to use the mapply function to paste the names together. We're going to set use.names to false for better formatting. And so what's going on here? So the paste function, what it does is it takes character strings and it pastes them together. And by default, it separates them by a space. We are vectorizing over both partner1 and partner2. So what we do here is we strip off the first elements of partner1 and partner2, and then we paste them together using the paste function. Then we strip off the second elements of partner1 and partner2, and we use the paste function to paste them together. And we do that all the way through the last element of partner1 and partner2, where we use the paste function to paste xe and gd together, which is what we get here. This worked as expected, but the formatting is kind of unpleasant. And so how could we improve the formatting of our results? Well, the paste function actually has a sep argument that specifies how the values that you're pasting together should be separated. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set the sep argument to space plus space in one application and space and space in a second application. And so we specify those in the moreArgs argument of the mapply function. Notice that we pass this separator as notice that we pass this information in a list, and we specifically specify the name of what we're passing in. So we have moreArgs equals list, then sep equals, in quotes, space plus space. And so this is going to paste the initials of partner1 and partner2 together, but then it's going to separate those values by a plus. So we get similar results to before, except that instead of having, for example, xe space gd, we have xe plus gd. And if we do the same thing where we specify sep to equal space and space, then we get something very similar, but we've changed the formatting just a little bit. One key detail I wanted to point out is that any arguments provided after ... in the mapply function have to be named. The reason for that is because otherwise the arguments after ... are actually assumed to be something that's supposed to be passed to fun using ... So let's run the following code and see that it doesn't work. So what I have here looks very similar to the previous code that we ran. We have mapply, fun equals paste, partner1, partner2. But now, instead of specifying moreArgs equals list, and then what I specify in the sep argument, I'm just going to pass the list. And so you might think, well, it's the exact same order as before, right? So it shouldn't work exactly the same way. But when I do that, I get some really weird stuff here. And so what's actually happening is that and false are being passed into the paste function. And so we're actually including each one of those things when we're pasting the values from partner 1 and partner 2 together. So we strip off the first elements of partner 1 and partner 2, we paste them together, and then we also paste on the word and then we also paste on the word false. And so basically what it's doing here is it's replicating those values to match the length of partner 1 and partner 2 and using that in the paste function. So if you want to pass additional arguments like more args or use.names in the mapply function, make sure that you actually indicate the argument name when you are describing your function.